Donald Trump's presidency was transformative, upending political norms and expectations. His policies, often announced via Twitter, sent shockwaves through Washington and the world. Supporters hailed him as a disruptor challenging the status quo, while critics condemned him as a demagogue. Trump's focus on economic nationalism and hardline stance on immigration resonated with his base. Critics warned of long-term damage to America's institutions and global standing. This essay delves into the heart of the Trump legacy, examining key policies that have left an indelible mark. We will explore the impacts of his policies on gender identity, immigration, the economy, and America's role on the world stage. By presenting a balanced perspective, we aim to understand the motivations behind these policies and their lasting consequences. Understanding this turbulent period in American history is crucial for navigating the future. One of the most contentious aspects of the Trump presidency was his stance on gender identity. This issue became a lightning rod for both his supporters and detractors, igniting passionate debates across the country. In 2018, the Trump administration announced a policy defining gender as a biological fact determined at birth, a move that was seen as a significant shift from previous policies. This policy effectively reversed Obama-era protections for transgender individuals, which had recognized gender identity as a more fluid concept. Supporters of the policy argued it ensured fairness in sports and protected religious freedom, claiming that it upheld traditional values and scientific truths. Conservative groups hailed it as a victory for biological reality, celebrating what they saw as a return to common sense and clarity in gender definitions. On the other hand, LGBTQ+ advocates condemned the policy as discriminatory and harmful, arguing that it marginalized and invalidated the identities of transgender individuals. They contended that the policy denied the lived experiences of transgender individuals, stripping away their rights and protections in various aspects of life. The debate over gender identity became a flashpoint in the culture wars, further polarizing the nation and highlighting deep-seated divisions within American society. The Trump administration's actions emboldened conservative views on gender and galvanized the LGBTQ+ community in their fight for equality, leading to increased activism and advocacy on both sides. The long-term consequences of this policy shift are still unfolding, with numerous court challenges and legislative battles continuing to this day. These ongoing legal and political struggles highlight the precarious state of transgender rights and protections in the United States. The rights and protections of transgender individuals remain in a precarious state, with advocates tirelessly working to secure and expand them. What is clear is that the Trump administration's actions on gender identity have deepened cultural fault lines, creating a more pronounced divide in American society. The debate over gender identity continues to shape American society, influencing public discourse, policy decisions, and the lives of countless individuals. Few issues were as central to Donald Trump's presidency as immigration. From his campaign promise to build a wall to his zero-tolerance policy, leading to family separations, Trump's approach was deeply controversial. Supporters argued these policies were necessary to secure the border and protect national security. Critics condemned them as inhumane and ineffective, ignoring the complex realities of immigration. The family separation policy drew international condemnation, becoming a defining symbol of the Trump era. The debate over Trump's immigration policies exposed deep divisions about national identity and the rule of law. The long-term impact of these policies is still being assessed, but they have profoundly affected countless individuals and families. The policies have reshaped the political landscape, fueling debates about border security and immigration reform. Donald Trump campaigned on a promise to rewrite the rules of global trade, vowing to put America first. His economic agenda, characterized by protectionist policies and tariffs, had both positive and negative consequences. Supporters argued that tariffs protected American industries and reduced the trade deficit. Critics contended that trade wars hurt American consumers and businesses, damaging relationships with key trading partners. Trump's renegotiation of trade deals, such as NAFTA, generated mixed reactions. The long-term impact of Trump's economic policies on the global economy is still debated. While some argue his policies led to a more assertive America, others contend they undermined global cooperation. Donald Trump's America First foreign policy marked a significant departure from his predecessors, prioritizing American interests above all else. This approach was a stark contrast to the more globalist policies of previous administrations, which often emphasized multilateral cooperation and international agreements. He withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, arguing these deals were unfair to American interests. These decisions were seen as a bold move to reclaim American sovereignty, but they also sparked significant controversy both domestically and internationally. Supporters saw these moves as a sign of American strength, while critics condemned them as isolationist. The divide in public opinion highlighted the contentious nature of Trump's foreign policy, which often polarized the nation. Trump's relationship with NATO allies was strained by his demands for increased defense spending. He argued that many NATO countries were not paying their fair share, leading to tensions within the alliance. In the Middle East, Trump's policies included a close relationship with Israel and a hard line on Iran. His administration's stance was characterized by strong support for Israeli actions and a series of sanctions aimed at curbing Iran's influence in the region. He moved the U.S. Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, praised by Israel but condemned by Palestinians. This decision was seen as a significant shift in U.S. policy, and had far-reaching implications for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His maximum pressure campaign against Iran heightened regional tensions. The strategy aimed to bring Iran to the negotiating table but also risked escalating conflicts in an already volatile region. Trump's foreign policy legacy is complex, with supporters arguing he restored American strength and critics contending he alienated allies. The impact of his policies continues to be a topic of heated debate among scholars, politicians, and the public. The debate over his foreign policy continues to shape America's role on the world stage. As new administrations take office, they must navigate the altered landscape left by Trump's tenure. The long-term impact of his actions remains a subject of intense scrutiny. Analysts and historians will likely study Trump's foreign policy for years to come, assessing its effects on global dynamics and America's position in the world. As the dust settles on the Trump era, it's clear his presidency has left an indelible mark on America and the world. His tenure was marked by unprecedented events and decisions that will be analyzed for years to come. Domestically, Trump's presidency exacerbated political polarization and deepened social divisions. The country saw a rise in heated debates and confrontations, both online and in real life. His rhetoric and policies energized far-right groups and emboldened white supremacists. This led to an increase in hate crimes and a more visible presence of extremist ideologies. The attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, highlighted the fragility of American democracy. It was a stark reminder of the potential for violence when political tensions reach a boiling point. Trump's presidency also impacted America's institutions, eroding trust in the media, judiciary, and intelligence community. Many Americans began to question the integrity and impartiality of these pillars of democracy. On the global stage, his America First foreign policy strained alliances and undermined multilateral institutions. Long-standing relationships with allies were tested, and new geopolitical dynamics emerged. His withdrawal from international agreements created uncertainty and instability. The global community was left to navigate a new era of unpredictability in international relations. The rise of China and the resurgence of Russia further complicated the geopolitical landscape. These shifts in power dynamics have significant implications for global security and economic stability. The long-term implications of the Trump presidency are still unfolding, but his legacy will continue to be debated. Scholars, politicians, and citizens alike will reflect on this period for generations. The United States must grapple with the consequences of his policies and seek to chart a course for the future. The path forward will require careful consideration and a commitment to healing and unity. The Trump presidency remains a subject of intense debate, with supporters and critics locked in a battle over his legacy. Supporters point to his economic achievements such as low unemployment rates and tax cuts. They applaud his tough stance on immigration and trade, believing he protected American jobs. Critics argue that Trump's perceived successes came at a high cost, including soaring national debt and environmental damage. They condemn his immigration policies as inhumane and his trade wars as counterproductive. The debate over Trump's legacy is about fundamental values, the role of government, and America's place in the world. It's a debate likely to continue for years, as the U.S. grapples with the consequences of his presidency. The Trump era has left a lasting impact on American society and politics. The nation must navigate the challenges it has exposed and seek to heal the divisions it has exacerbated. The Trump presidency has left an enduring impact on the United States and the world. His presidency exposed deep divisions within American society, highlighting the challenges of bridging political divides. The Trump era underscored the fragility of democratic institutions and the importance of upholding the rule of law. The events of January 6, 2021, served as a stark reminder of the dangers of political violence. On the global stage, Trump's America First foreign policy created uncertainty and instability. His skepticism of multilateralism strained alliances and emboldened authoritarian leaders. The withdrawal of the US from international agreements left the world grappling with pressing challenges. The Trump presidency has been a time of upheaval and transformation. As the country moves forward, it must address the challenges exposed by his presidency. The world will be watching as the US navigates this new chapter and seeks to redefine its role in the 21st century.